Create a new document or model. And so it's unnamed. File. Save as. We'll just call it FJ003. Click on there. We're going to create a new yellow part. Then in there a blue body. Then in there a sketch on the XY plane. I double click there, by the way. Then I'm going to create a rectangle on there. So click, let go, drag, click, let go, escape, pen up. We're going to make it symmetric, so I'm going to click that corner and symmetrically around that and make it. You can see that it went all equal. And now our degrees of freedom went from 4 to 2, by the way. I'm going to dimension this line and this line. Click. Horizontal, so you use the horizontal up here. And we'll say 20 millimeters. We'll take this guy. And vertical
Note how
to
it
vertical.
goes to fully constrained.
So 20. And then we can zoom this just to fit a little better. I can shift and drag it up. I can then say close on here. And now what I'm going to do is pad this. So I'm on the sketch and I'm going to click the pad and we'll just make it 10. That's fine. I'll say OK there. Then we're going to create a new sketch. So we're in the body. The sketch will be again from the XY plane. I'm going to double click on here and try and make a new sketch on there. Now I get to pick the plane. So I go here, I say OK. And then I want to see through things. So I'm going to pick this here, which is the section view, so you can see through things. And then I'm going to take another one of these. And I'm going to draw it on here. And again, I'm going to lift my pen, escape. 1, 2, around the origin. And I'm going to say make it concentric. And then I'm going to take this, I'm going to dimension it, horizontal to horizontal. So we'll say 5.
Note how it goes to fully constrained.
This guy, and it's vertical to vertical, and we'll say 5, and then I will zoom, and I can double drag up or down. So I'm going to do a shift to bring it to about there, and then I'm going to double drag downwards till it's showing better. Then I'll close this and I will you can see this sketch if I hover over it down in here. You can see it up here right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pocket out of that sketch. So with this clicked here, I'm going to do a pocket. And I'm going to say that it's a through all. And I'm going to say reversed. And now we can see the hole in the middle over here. I'm going to say OK there. And now we've got a pocket with a sketch in it. and we've got a pad with a sketch in it. So now I can take and hold my Alt key, and I can just drag this around and take a look at it. And so as you can see here, these are both based on back to the origin, so that neither of these are dependent on another one. A couple more handy things to know. Up in here is a directional pad. If you come down here, you can do an orthographic. If you click the top, and then you can see what happens there, and then do orthographic, or sorry, isometric, I think it is. Yeah, isometric. And then again, you can shift down, and, or sorry, double drag down, and then shift back to the middle here. I'll drag double shift up a bit to zoom out. I'll hold the Alt key and I'll drag around here a bit. One thing to know is some of the keystrokes. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 0. So 1 is front. You can see up here where it's changing. 2 to top, 3 to right, 4 to rear, 5 to bottom, 6 to left, and then 0 is that isometric again. And again, if you want to just, wherever you do it from, the Alt is where it's going to shift from. So if you do it, like say from down here, it's going to shift around that particular spot. So if you wanted to shift around here, you hold the Alt, and then you can kind of take a look around the insides of this. Another little trick that I did was I didn't actually need a hole at one point, but I couldn't tell how thick it was in between here. So what I did was I did create a pocket, and then just to get a rough idea, but then I took the ruler here and I clicked on the top. You can see the little crosshair there, top, and then bottom. And then what happens is that over here you get that distance. You can delete it again if you want. It stays there, but it's just a real handy way of knowing, like it's probably 10 millimeters, but gives you a good rough idea if you can't tell how thick a part is or something like that. Again, I guess I could do like say 1 from the front, and you can see that dimension there, but now I can accurately do it. So I could come with the ruler again, and I can put there and kind of like there, and then you can see it's 10.01. It's just a rough, I think there's ways of getting closer, but it really is a handy way of telling maybe how thick your material is at a certain spot. You just put a pocket in, and then you can measure against that pocket if it happens to be, you know, the way down inside and you can't see it from another angle or something like that. It's on parametric modeling, so I'm going to take this part, double click it, and then I'm going to go under, there's part design. This is another thing, there's a bunch of workbenches here. Part design and sketcher. I'm going to go to spreadsheet this time. I'm going to create a new spreadsheet. You can see it's down in here, and then I'm just going to make one, but I'm just going to say, for instance, say it was a base length, and watch you don't put an alias in there. It's this guy. So say it was going to be 15. Hit enter, and then we'll right click on it, properties, and an alias. So I'm going to give it the same alias. So base length, and then display unit, I'm going to make mm for millimeter. And now if I come down out of there, you can see that that is the field that goes yellow. You don't want this one, you want this one. I had problems where I did this one thinking I was being smart and I wasn't. Anyways, so we've got this base length here now, and we can now come to the drawing. So you could leave this open all the time. It's handy to keep adding and jumping back and forth, so you can go back to the drawing. And gonna go back into here, open up the part. I'll go to the sketch here, and where I have a dimension like say this 20 millimeters here, I can double click on it, and now what I can do is I can hit this, or I can hit the equal sign or equal on the keyboard, but if I click here, I can now do, it started with spreadsheet. Okay, so I'll click that, and then I had base, so type B, so there's base length, and I can say okay there, and you can see now that it changed this to 15 and it's following what's in here. So I now go back to here and change that to 20, and I come back to here. It's do I have to refresh it? I'm not sure. Say close here and open the sketch again. Yeah, so I had to close it and open it, but anyways, it's following the new parameter. So you can just make all your things parameter based. It makes it easier for changing sizes later on. You can base one on another, so the width could be half of the length and that sort of thing, but I won't get into that too much here, but just to show you about parameter driven stuff. So real quick on how to print 3D. So basically we're going to come here and we're going to go to, well actually you could go to mesh design, but you can also go just file and export. I think you first want to make sure you got the whole thing picked. So let's go back. We'll close out of here. We'll go to the model. We'll, I think we'll just do the, let's go to the part, double click it, and then we'll do a file and export. And we're going to do STL for the type. Here we go, mesh, STL. And it ends up just be giving you an STL, so I'm going to do a save there, just in a different folder, so it's in the same folder I've been working in. Okay, so I now have an STL file. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into, I was going to using AnkerMake, it's not, the slicer is not very good, but basically you need to use a slicer. The Prusa Slicer is amazing. So I'm going to basically, I guess we'll do a new project and discard this one. And then I'm going to go file. I guess we're going to import the STL file. And we can see, let's see, now I got to come up a level, and we've got this here, FJ003, and we've now brought it into here. And the amazing thing with this too is you can do things like scaling and moving. You can put multiples onto the tray. Let's see now, you can go into the slice here, and I think if we go back over to here, what was I going to show you? I don't remember. Anyways, a bunch of options in here. You can flip it around and different things. So basically what we want to do is, this is the part that we designed. So I'm zooming in, zooming out with my two fingers on the trackpad. I can hold with one finger and then drag it around, that sort of thing. So what I'm going to do now is hit this slice now, and then I can go into here, and using these bars here, I can click, like, say, in the middle, drag up, drag down, and you can see each layer as it's going from the bottom to the top here. Then I can go across here, and on each layer, it gives what's going to happen, how the pen's going to go across for each little thingamabob. And you can see here, I've got the AnkerMake M5 is my printer in this case, with the nozzle and all the different things. There's a ton of options in here. Print settings, filament, printer. Anyways, the whole idea here is that you want to export a G-code that you can then import into the printer. So I'm going to go and export this. And again, I'm going to come up to the folder that I've been working in here. And I'm just going to say FJ003. I guess I'll just leave this because it's sort of giving, I'm using PLA on my M5 printer. It's adding some stuff that's useful into the name, so I'll just click save there. Then I'm going to come across and I'm going to go into AnkerMake, and instead of actually using AnkerMake, I'm just going to basically pull through so that I can print to the AnkerMake from this computer. So I'm going to go to here, I think. I'm going to go under my documents folder. There's the G-code right there that we just made. I'm going to open it. And really, the only thing we want to do here, you can see it's 7 minutes to print. It's a fairly small thingy, the temperature of the nozzle and all that sort of thing. So basically I'm going to turn my printer on a minute. So I'm going to pause here. What I'm going to do now is just do the print. Again, in this slicer, I think you could do basically the same thing. You could just take a look at the different layers and stuff. I wouldn't go too crazy in here because this slicer isn't as good, but it does give you an idea from the bottom to the top, and you can play each layer, how it's going to print. So here I can see how many grams of stuff I'm going to use, filament, and the time is about 11. So it's 7 to 11 minutes, somewhere in there. So now I come back to device, and I see my print button here. You can hear it beep in the background there, and then it starts heating things up here. There goes, so the nozzle's going to come up, the heat bed's going to come up to temperature, and then it will fire off. So I'll go and take some shots of the printer and come back. So here we are, and looking at the M5 and the screen, and we're at 230 on the nozzle. The bed's still coming up to temperature. You can see the head is lifted off a bit. There's a little bit of junk on there. I don't know if I can get that out, but I'm not going to touch that nozzle. So yeah, the nozzle's up to 230 and 56. It's heating up, and you can see at the top there FJ003, so we know we got the right file that we're working on.
So you see there, it's homing. Very nice printer. Happy with it so far, but I've only had it a couple of days. And this is a small part, so it shouldn't take too long. I think it's just about to start printing now.
There, it's just drawing its first layer there now.
So I'll come back in about 2 or 3 minutes and take another look.
Here I am back, time remaining 2:51. Let's take a look at this little part. Pretty cool looking little thing. A lot of power going on there. I can feel the shaking on the big table here a little bit with my hand resting on it. I think we're printing the top plate. Oh, it has basically finished. There we go. Nice job, AnkerMake M5. Good job. Okay, so I lifted it off the plate just by bending the plate a bit, and then this is what comes off. So you can see we've done it.